I think the biggest mistake is people aren't focused.
Yeah.
So if you have a clear structure, then it becomes easier for your audience to follow along. But also, if your message isn't relevant to your audience, then that's also a big mistake. If you're speaking to people who don't care about what you have to say, then that's not going to help you. In my book, From Presentation to Standing Ovation, I talk about how you can speak to 3 different audiences, whether you're an entrepreneur, a podcaster, or an employee. You can speak to 3 different audiences. You can speak to people who love what you have to say, who really are interested in you and your message. You can speak to people who are indifferent, they're neutral, they haven't heard you, they haven't heard of you, they don't know of your message. Or you can speak to people who are anti-you, they hate you, or they dislike your message. And I think that it's a waste of time to speak to people who are haters. So focus on the people who like you or the people who are indifferent to you. That's what politicians do. They try to swing the undecided vote. They try to convince the people who haven't made up their minds yet. And so I think that you can have the most impact if you speak to people who are already in your choir or people who could be part of your choir. If you want to engage your audience, you have to understand what your audience wants. You have to understand what it is that they want to hear. What don't they want to hear? And then find a way to answer that question or to deliver that value. Maybe they have a question in their mind that they haven't asked. So is there any additional homework that you can do before your presentation to help you identify what that unanswered question is? You can always start off your presentation by saying what it is that you know what they're thinking. I know what you're thinking. Here's how I can help. I know what your problem is. Yeah, I know what your biggest pain point is. Here's how I can help. I think so. You have to understand what it is that your audience wants to hear. What's your purpose as well as a speaker? That helps you tremendously. Otherwise, you could be just speaking a great message for you, but it's not relevant for your audience. It's not what they want to hear. Or maybe you're just not talking to the right people. So it's a waste of time.
That's an important point too.
It's a very important point. It's a very important point. It's probably the biggest mistake that a lot of speakers make when they're starting out, or if not speakers, then entrepreneurs. It's figuring out who their target audience is, what their niche is, but also identifying what is it that the audience wants to hear. What is it the audience doesn't want to hear? But you could also turn things around. If you know your audience, if you're speaking about vegetables, let's say you're a vegetable farmer, let's say you're a vegetarian, a nutritionist, you want to encourage people to eat vegetables, but you find yourself speaking to a room full of meat eaters. You're in Calgary, Alberta, they're promoting their AAA sirloin beef. But you know that you're speaking to this audience, you know that they think a certain way, so you can tell them, I know you love beef. I know the Calgary cattle is amazing. But what if you were to add some vegetables to your red meat? So From Presentation to Standing Ovation, I talk about how it's important to have a speaker GPS. When you travel, it's easier to get to where you want to go when you have a GPS in your car or your phone, right? And when you have that GPS, you need to tell your device where you want to go. You know where you are, but you need to know where you want to go. If you don't do that, then you might drive around in circles. But once you know where you want to go, even if you get stuck somewhere, there's obstacles in your way, you can always recalibrate, you can course correct and end up getting where you want to go. So I think the most important thing is to know what it is that you want to say, why you're saying it, and who you're saying it to. And it's all part of the GPS. Your purpose, your core message, your key talking points.